Hello, everyone. All glory be to God. We are together again. I hope that you all are doing well and blessed in the Lord. I do, because we are so close to salvation. And I know we get excited. We say it all the time, and I've said it dozens of times. But I believe it to be true. And this video is actually a confirmation of 3 dreams that the Lord has pressed on to me, and I'm going to condense them all into one video, this one, just giving you the highlights and showing you basically the meat of the dream in clips, as well as the confirmation of what's going on in the news today. So let's get right to it. Okay, so the 2 main topics, that I want to address that were a part of the dreams. The dreams I believe I shared is called the exit to the camps and escaping a nuclear bomb, something like that. So the 2 dreams are on the same video, which I'm really happy about, because you don't have to go searching. I mean, I'll leave a link to just the one. There's not a string of them. And then I did have a 3rd dream, but I didn't upload it to YouTube because it's a tough one. I see myself as a child and I'm under attack, and it was just emotionally hard for me because I went through that in the dream. Anyway, sorry. Okay, so this is like this mass exodus of people that are leaving South America, different nations or countries in South America, Honduras and Guatemala and whatnot. Thousands and thousands of people have left their home to find a better home, and they actually are. Some of them are looking for asylum in different places in Mexico, and some are still headed to possibly the U.S. border. And I'm not talking about their plight. It's not political. I'm not political. I'm not, Lord, I'm a mom and a wife. That fills my life, I'm working. I'm a child of God and a child of my parents and part of my family. And so all this other stuff is more than, there's a lot of people who do follow politics and world affairs, and if the Lord presses it on to me, but it's not my stream that I stay in. It's not the lane I stay in. So anyway, so when these things come up, it's I have to really pay attention and listen to the Lord and let Him guide me. And this way He did guide me. Okay, so the dream that I spoke of is called Exit to the Camps. And I saw myself in a dusty Old West town, no paved roads, it was just dirt, and the wind was picking up and the weather was getting bad, and there was a bunch of people who were caravanning, as I put it, and I saw them on stagecoaches, but I think what I was seeing was them with all their articles in this dusty town, trying to get to, I called them the camps, but wherever they were going. But the main thing I did see is I saw that there was a lady at a table, and she was registering them, giving them badges. And with these, sorry about that, with these badges, they had to, it was like a chip in the badge, and they got an ID, and they wore them like a lanyard, and the room was full, so they were being registered. Now that was interesting. In real life, these people that are immigrating are asking for asylum in Mexico, and if you're asking for asylum, you have to register. So that kind of made me think my dream is right online of them with all their belongings, leaving the town. I even said in the dream that I was looking out the window and I was thinking I wanted to come back, but I don't think we were going to come back. And at first I thought it was like in the Bible where it speaks about they have to flee, but they do return. And I thought, oh, maybe that's what I was dreaming. But actually, I think I was dreaming of this real life event where these people are leaving and immigrating out. So, yeah, like I said, I don't want to dwell too much. I will leave links to these dreams. But I saw it in this dusty town, no paved roads or anything. It was just dirt and a caravan. And I was thinking on the lines of like a stagecoach, but when the people traveled back in the Old West in the U.S., they had trunks and they had everything in these trunks that were piled on these stagecoaches. And I think that's what I was kind of seeing. And with them being registered, they're in the system. And I think that's what I was seeing with them being registered in Mexico to stay. But the rest of the group is still heading towards the U.S. borders. But they knew they were not going back to their original homelands. Okay, so that's that. Now, going in the lines of the same immigration, I'll just read the dream to you that I had that I didn't share. And, I'll leave this picture up. Okay. I had this dream December 20th, 2013. So quite a while ago. I had a dream that I was a young girl, maybe 5 or 6, wearing pajamas, and was woken up out of my bed by an extreme sound. The room was dark, and there were other children my age sleeping in the room who also heard the sound and were woken up by it. I looked to the window, and there was a clear glass of pane glass, and the curtains were swung out of the window, and there was a screen in between. Sorry, you know how dreams are. I could see adult faces walking past the screen. A woman with a dark complexion, older, with gray hair, and many adult men, all with dark complexions, maybe even Native American or Aztec Indian tribal looking faces, not from where I lived. Many were trying to open the screen but lost interest and turned and walked away. An older man tried with great interest to get into the room but failed. The last adult man, wearing a black coat and a light blue collared shirt, was making an attempt to get the screen off. I jumped up onto a dresser that was near the window and was trying to hold the glass pane window shut. He could see me and was not intimidated by me because I was a child, and persisted to forcibly open the window. When I was looking at him trying to scream, "Go away," I had no voice. I could only speak in my mind. But when I turned to calm down the other children in the room, I could speak to them, and my voice was clear and it was calm, and I told them everything would be okay and to go get help. As I turned back to the window to face the stranger trying to break in, I realized that they were travelers and were looking for food and shelter. But being frightened, because I was a child, I had no voice, and I was trying so hard to tell him to leave us alone. When I realized, then I realized that in my dream I had wished for barbed wire to keep them out, and that I knew that the sharpness would deter them and we would be safe. Okay, so that was my dream from almost 5 years ago, but it reminded me of this immigration with the people coming through. And you know, I'm not saying anything about anybody, and I'm not talking about anybody. It's just a dream that I had, but it reminds me of this caravan of people that are coming through South America. Some are staying in these towns and trying to look for shelter and food and homes because they are leaving their homes. Okay, so that's that. The exit and let's see, the exit to the camps, where I talked about the caravan of people and the badges. And then the second dream was a dream I just shared with you now, where I was a child, and the immigration of people were going past my window. Okay, the last one is these pipe bombs that are now in multitude throughout the United States. And I don't have a whole lot to share about this, only because what I saw in my dream, the second part of the exit is, I saw myself in some sort of work factory, and we were wearing all gray uniforms. We were prisoners, and a bomb was detonated. So I thought it was interesting that this immigration is spoken of at the same time that these bombs are being located throughout the U.S. And whoever is implementing all of these, they don't know exactly who it is, but they're finding similarities with each pipe bomb that are connecting all of these people. And before I go any further, I pray that the Lord be with them, because violence is never the answer. And this person is a coward because they're just sending this anonymous destruction in the mail. So our mailmen are handling it, and delivery people are handling it. It's just, I think it's awful, and so many people can be hurt. And in my dream, I knew that some bomb had gone off, but I don't know exactly where I was. And I've tried to find where people would be wearing these gray suits, and actually the only place I really found these gray prison suits was North Korea. So I don't know. I honestly don't know. I mean, maybe we were in a North Korean work camp and I was seeing America have this. I don't know. These are dreams. And let me share a little bit of them with you. But, you know, I just thought it was amazing. In this one dream, or the one video that I shared, both of these events are mentioned in the video. So God is good and wants us to be awake and aware, for sure. Okay, one second. Town, and it's like the Old West in America 100 years ago, where it's like dirt roads and just as you see. And I was in this large room, like one of the ones above the street, and it was a lot of people in there, and they were all in line, and the line kind of waved, you know, so you could see that it was a lot of people in line, you know, just waiting. And there was no furniture, nowhere to stand or sit, you know, no furniture, except for I did see a lady sitting at the beginning of the line, and she had things on a card table, like a little folding square table, and a chair that she was sitting on. That was the only bit of furniture. If you wanted to sit in one of the corners near the window, there were some colorful big pillows on the floor and some fabric like on the walls, and it was like colorful in that particular part of the room. And so I went over there near the pillows because the line was so long. I think I wanted to wait, and I went by the window and I looked outside and I saw stagecoaches, period, people movers that were used here, and also wagons without the cover. They were just open, and people's belongings were all inside, packed, jam-packed with suitcases and chairs and their furnishings, and anything and everything was jammed inside all of these vehicles, and they were all lined down the street. And the weather started to get worse. It was, you could see the wind was starting to kick up the dirt, and there were a few people now in the roads, and they were irritated. You could tell they were covering their faces or covering, or putting their arm up to cover their faces from the wind and the dirt. And I'm watching them, and I was thinking, I think I'd like to come back to this place someday, but I think I knew on some level that we weren't going to return. But we were being evacuated or moved out, and we were going to a camp or some other place. When I looked back to the line to see how it was going, gone. All the people were gone. It was just the lady sitting at the table waiting for me, and she was closer to me. It was a dream. She was closer to me now, and I could see on the table the items that she was, I guess, passing out to people. It was a badge with a lanyard, and I knew that with the badge, it had my name picture on it, and I could see the components. It almost looked like the internal pieces of what would be inside, an electrical device. I could see, it was like all the components, I could see it all, but it was on the outside. And she gave it to me, and I said, I'm looking at it, and she said, it has an RFID chip, and you'll be able to find your partner. And I thought, okay, it'll be okay. And I knew that there was someone out there I was going to be paired off with, and that was my partner. Put it on, and I look back out the window, and I see the caravan of people moving out. And that was the end of that dream. The second dream is actually the second part of that FRID chip dream. I went back to sleep, and this one I had next. Okay. I see myself standing, wearing this gray, but it was more of a metallic sheen gray. I couldn't find it. Prison uniform, and had a hat. And I could feel behind me, my family was with me. And we're in like this courtyard with a high, almost like a concrete retaining wall. And it was split off into two portions. And I want to say we're at a plant or a factory, and I knew that it was because of the chip we ended there. Like, I knew that because of that, this was the end result. And I brought my whole family with me, and it was not good. We were prisoners in this place. It was not good. Well, all of a sudden, there was a loud alarm bell, just rang as loud as you can imagine, like hurricane, siren loud, and there was a boom that shook everything. I believe it was some sort of nuclear fallout or a bomb or something. Maybe the factory, something happened, and boom. Well, the next thing you know, you see everyone scrambling and running. It was just the masses, hundreds and hundreds of people trying to survive. Okay, so I'm not exactly sure why the Lord pressed this dream on to me, these several dreams. I guess there's 3 in total. But the first one, well, all of them are either about the immigration process or that bomb. But I think it's a time marker where we are in the season. It's kind of like it's like being on a train. No, yeah, you're on the train and you're on the track. Now, if the train stops, then that's where you are on this train ride. You can't change the direction where the train is going. You're just going forward on the train. You can stop and observe where you are, but the train is on its track. And so I think that's kind of what these dreams are. They're markers of where we are on our journey forward. We can't make changes, but we can see where we are. We can see the signs and we can see the season. So we don't have a spirit of fear. Okay, 2 Timothy 1:7. For God hath given us this, for God has not given us the spirit of fear, but of power and love and a sound mind. So, to what this tells me is we don't need to be afraid, but we do need to be clear where we are. That's the sound mind part of it. We need to be able to look out that window on the train and see what's out there, but not be fearful of what we're seeing, because it's all a part of God's plan. And I won't go any farther than that. When I saw this, I knew I needed to share this with you and give you this confirmation of where we are in our season. And if you don't have a relationship with Jesus Christ, if you've never started your walk with Jesus, this is the time. The first dream I had, or actually the farthest back dream I had was December 2013, where I saw myself as that young child and I saw the immigration people going by. That was 5 years ago. And then the other 2 dreams that I had were last year, summer of last year. So progressively we're being shown where we are in this timeline. And I don't know if this is exactly right. I might be way off. But I just thought it was amazing that in the news, confirmable news today, they're talking about it right now, that these things are happening. And I was told, and I shared it long ago. So we just need to be of sound mind. I love you, and God loves you so much more, and that's why He gives us these resources and tools. He gives us the Bible so that we can see the stories in the Bible, the Gospels of the Bible, and learn from the past so we can prepare ourselves for the future. Please take care, and may God bless you and keep you. And we'll talk soon. Bye for now.